I would just be able to demonstrate with facts, with the work I do, and the ability to just really be able to, demonstrate what the work I've done, and the ability to make some changes and provide the result of those changes.
It's about connecting with them at their level, talking their language, making sure that you are relating it to what their problems are. So credibility comes through delivery, doing what you said you'll do, providing the right level of detail and data, but also knowing when to be operating at a higher level and knowing when to kind of switch between the two. So it's very much reading the situation, reading the organisation, and developing a rapport and relationship with your stakeholders, whether they're your close colleagues, whether they're external people who the business needs to connect with, but being part of that and being part of the decision-making process.
I think probably was one of the biggest things was I was always very commercial. I was always very concerned about return on investment. And I am now with clients. So what I'll say is something like well-being that has been a massive agenda item over the last 12 months, and something like diversity, which has become an even bigger agenda item over the last 12 months. Then we should never be doing them for the sake of doing them because it's just the morally right thing to do. Again, this might sound controversial. They are absolutely the morally right thing to do. But that's not why we actually, if you start talking about it from the moral perspective, you lose the argument, you lose your credibility, full stop, actually.
For me, it's about proving what you've done and role modelling good behaviours. So I think it's two aspects. It's showing the return on investment of you as a function, but whatever you might have brought into the organisation in terms of training or a new system or a leadership development programme. And I also think it is about solving some problems. If you go into as a new HRD, there's usually some problems, so you get some quick wins and they trust you with that. It's usually a people problem. They trust you with that, and then you can have that conversation with someone who solved a problem for them. And one of my killer questions to any CEO, whether I've been on an interim or a permanent contract, is, what's keeping you awake at night?
And it is, again, it goes back to what I've said, it's about knowing your business. It really is. And that the decisions you make, or the papers you put forward, or the suggestions, or the direction you want to take your organisation through are done very much through a business lens. It's not just about, this is a new people initiative we need to be doing. It's really about, this is the benefit to the business, or here's where the business needs to go. You need to be a key author in your strategic plan.
I think it's about, it starts with the relationships you have. And I think it's about demonstrating what's important and why it's important and how it adds value to the bottom line and to the vision and strategy. And everything should always start with a vision and strategy. So whenever you're doing your people strategy or anything on that side of it, you should always be looking at how it applies back to it.
I think respect is if you're a HR director and you've been brought in, I think respect is there as a given. I go back to that first statement that says you brought me in because you feel that I have a professional gift to bring to the table that you don't already have. So I think the professional respect is there to begin with. I think you have to keep it. I think it's not about gaining it, it's about keeping it. And the evidence and value of HR, I think there's a journey here that talks around, first of all, what does the business think HR is for? What does the business think the purpose of HR is? Sometimes there's some expectation management. And then I think when we get into evidencing value, there's all the standard HR metrics that talk about where our processes and services are efficient and, we realise savings or, released human capital savings and delivered things more efficiently and effectively. I think it's more around, does it feel on the ground that there's an improvement? So is there a clear line of sight between the strategic objectives of the organisation and what the stuff that HR is doing?
I think you have to, I think it doesn't matter if it's a board, I think it's to anybody. And I think how you do that is find your quick wins, find them quickly and be able to articulate the value that it has to the business. You build trust that way by being as good as your word. So if you say, I'm going to deliver X by Y date, that you deliver X by Y date, or earlier or sooner or cheaper, and then you bring it to the board and say, you asked for this, this is what we've done, we're going to include it in our employee survey going forward to make sure that we manage it, that we measure it, and build your credibility through actually what you doing what you say you're going to do.
So the board's a different subject again. For me, the really key thing with the board is to agree what they want to know. You know, there's no point going in and saying, here's our operational side of things, or, you know, what is important to the board, and then you report on that. Now, obviously, if there was a major problem elsewhere and we hadn't flagged it, but I don't know about other boards. Every month I deliver highs and lows of what's going on, but always with the what are you interested in mind.
Respect is earned, and I think it's important that if we respect other people and their views and opinions, then that is reciprocated. I think you've got to take time when you join any new team or meet any new people to build up a relationship of trust, and, you know, to demonstrate that you have credibility, that you are a technical expert in your field and that you can contribute to the business.